1,843 clues have come and gone, but 26 new ones are headed your way as part of this 69th episode of Disney 100 Jeopardy, presented by MagicBandReaders.com. As always, I am your host, Bryan Perri, and thank you so much for joining me. You know the rules. They're simple Jeopardy rules, but they're also Disney 100 Jeopardy rules, which means if you want to cheat, go ahead. I couldn't care less, so be my guest. In last week's episode 68, the final Jeopardy category was non-Disney Disney songs. That's all about songs you may have heard in a Disney movie but didn't originate from that Disney movie. They were not written specifically for that Disney movie. No, they may have been hits before that Disney movie. That all makes sense. That plus 4 other brand new categories are headed your way, so let's check them out. Once again, non-Disney Disney songs will kick off the game. The second category you'll be playing, Pixar trailers. I will give you a quote that appeared in a Pixar trailer, and you'll have to tell me what movie that trailer was for. We move on to the third category. It is the 60s. This is episode 69, so if I was going to squeeze in a 60s category all about Disney in the 60s, this would be the one. So that's right, 5 clues all about Disney in the 1960s. The fourth category is your Disney Parks category of the week, Sherman Brothers in the Park. First off, rest in peace to Richard Sherman. He passed away at 95. He, of course, was half of the Academy Award-winning songwriting team, the Sherman Brothers, with his brother Robert, the late great Disney legend Robert Sherman. They wrote a ton of songs for Walt Disney himself, including songs that appeared in some of your favorite Disney rides. Some rides that might no longer exist and some that might still be operating today. I'll give you the lyrics to one of those songs and you'll have to tell me which ride it is affiliated to. And the fifth and final category of episode 69, making fun of Disney. I love this one. This is all about parodies of Disney that you may have seen in other shows. I will describe a scene to you. I may even show you an image from a scene. You'll have to tell me which show is making fun of Disney in that scenario. Okay, it is now time for the easiest part of the game, the cupcake round. Each of these clues worth just 200 points each. Hopefully you go 5 for 5, bank 1,000 points under your belt. And before we go, I do have to apologize for this ridiculous beard that I have going on. I'll be honest with you, it is not by choice. A lot of you know I work for the New York Rangers. I'm very superstitious. And as of this episode, the Rangers are still playing in the playoffs. And I like to think that's because I'm keeping this facial hair. I hate it, but hey, the things we do for love. Okay, let's start the game. We begin with non-Disney songs for 200. Winifred sings I Put a Spell on You in this 1993 Disney live-action classic. What is Hocus Pocus?
I put a spell on you, and now you're gone.
We move on to the first clue from the Pixar trailer category. Once again, I'll read you a quote that appeared in a movie, but also specifically in a trailer for that movie. You'll just have to tell me what movie it is from. Here we go. I was made for soup, salad, maybe chili, and then the trash. That is spoken by Forky as a part of Toy Story 4.
I was made for soup, salad, maybe chili, and then the trash.
Let's get groovy. Check out the 60s now for 200 points. As showcased in Saving Mr. Banks, Walt Disney spent decades attempting to acquire the film rights to this character from P.L. Travers. Who is Mary Poppins? We make our way to the Sherman Brothers for the first time. It's your Disney Parks category of the week. These lyrics can be heard when riding which attraction? There's so much that we share that it's time we're aware. It's a small world after all.
There's so much that we share that it's time we're aware.
We finish off the 200-point cupcake round with my favorite category of the day, making fun of Disney. In this famous comedic show, look at that little Mickey. Mickey Mouse acts as not only Disney's famous icon, but its actual boss and crude overseer. They always know how to push the boundaries. The correct answer is South Park.
Who do you work for? DreamWorks? Answer me!
So that does it for the cupcake round. Hopefully you're proving your Disney fandom by acing this here quiz. But if you want to show off your Disney fandom to even a further extent, here's how you can do it. Forget bringing the magic of Disney inside your home. How about bringing the magic of MagicBands inside your home? That's right, because you can once again get your very own MagicBand reader to control different aspects of your house by heading to magicbandreaders.com. Use our code ITM20 for 20% off your purchase and watch your house become Magic Kingdom. Well, kind of. Instead of letting those memory-filled bands collect dust inside a drawer, let them turn on your lights, your TV, your speakers, all with the tap of your very own reader. Once again, use the code ITM20 for 20% off magicbandreaders.com for the next few weeks. And of course, covers wait time signs as well. I mentioned that last week. Tons of cool products, so be sure to check them out. Okay, back to the game now. It's the 400-point round. It begins with non-Disney Disney songs. Beyond the Sea plays during the credits of this 2003 Pixar flick. What is Finding Nemo?
Somewhere beyond the sea.
Here comes another Pixar quote from a trailer. Hello, I'm Anxiety. Where can I put my stuff? We are less than 2 weeks away from the big debut of Inside Out 2, and that is the correct answer here, and I'll let you know now. Not this week, but in 2 weeks, there's going to be a very special Inside Out influenced episode of Disney 100 Jeopardy. That would be episode 71. So keep a lookout for that. Back to the game. It's the 60s for the second time. This one's worth 4. Perhaps the most famous wizard in Disney lore, Merlin, is a character from this 1963 Disney animated film. I've said it before, I used to say it was the sword and the stone, but the correct answer is the sword in the stone.
You're very clever, sir.
Yes. Well, never mind the sir. Just plain Merlin will do.
Here comes your second Sherman Brothers clue of the game. All the birds sing words and the flowers croon. In the tiki room, I'll tell you what, whenever I have these lyrics as part of a game of Disney 100 Jeopardy, it is nearly impossible to read the lyrics, not to the tune of the song. I'll try to do better in the third round. But before we get to the third round, we've got one clue left in the second round. It's the 400-pointer for making fun of Disney. Peter kicks off the whimsical tune, It's a Wonderful Day for Pie, during an iconic episode of this award-winning cartoon. What is Family Guy?
It seems we're in a universe where everything is drawn by Disney.
It's a wonderful day for pie.
Tell me that does not sound like a Disney song. Also, the animation style, incredible. Props to the Family Guy team led by Seth MacFarlane creating that little segment. It's part of the multiverse episode where Stewie and Brian travel the multiverses, I guess, or whatever, different universes. Anyway, that's Family Guy stuff. Let's move on to Disney stuff. It is the 600-point round, and it begins with non-Disney Disney songs. An updated version of the 1940s song La Llorona is performed in this 2017 movie. Hope I didn't butcher that pronunciation. If I did, lo siento. Pero the correct answer is Coco. That's where you can hear the newer version of the song. And yes, the original comes from the early 40s.
Ay, de mi llorona.
Let's move on in the 600-point round to Pixar trailers.
The sky, clouds, the sun. Whoa, don't look at it. Just kidding. Definitely look at it. The sky, clouds, the sun. Whoa, don't look at it. Just kidding. Definitely look at it.
We are at the halfway point of the game, and we're going back to the 60s for the third time. The first Disney feature animation film to come out following Walt Disney's death in 1966. Soon after, we saw the release of The Jungle Book. Let's check out another Sherman Brothers tune, this one worth 6. And when it becomes a reality, it's a dream come true for you and me. That was written for the 1964 World's Fair version of Carousel of Progress.
Our songwriters, Dick and Bob Sherman of the Walt Disney Studio.
And when it becomes a reality, it's a dream come true for you and me.
We finish off the 600-point round by making fun of the company we so dearly adore. Epcot Center. Epcot, not Epcot, Epcot. Featuring famous rides like Great Moments with Mr. Eisner and the Future Sphere, which is making fun of Spaceship Earth, is a Disney parody in this famous show. It's not the only Disney parody. The Simpsons loves to make fun of Disney, and there was no question that's what they were doing in the Epcot episode. It was a little fuzzy, though. They were kind of alluding to the fact that Epcot was super boring back in the early 90s and late 80s, and they really wanted to go to Walt Disney World, which doesn't really make sense because Epcot is obviously part of Walt Disney World, but maybe Simpsons writers just didn't know that at the time. Either way, 15 clues down, 10 remain as we boost the difficulty for the challenging 800-point round. Here comes another non-Disney Disney song. A karaoke scene featuring the Spice Girls' song Wannabe can be seen in this Disney animated feature. I forgive you if you haven't seen it because a lot of people haven't seen it. The correct answer is Chicken Little.
So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want.
Here comes another quote from a Pixar film / trailer. My mom, my dad. I have a family. I miss them. Spoken by Ellen DeGeneres' Dory in the trailer for Finding Dory.
My mom, my dad, I have a family.
We will never forget you, Dory.
What if I forget you?
I miss them.
Third clue of the 800-point round brings us back to the 60s again. Introduced regionally in 1964 and nationally in 1966, this chip from Frito-Lay was originally created at Disneyland in the early 1960s. I actually did an entire little segment on the creation of Doritos. You can check it out by clicking the link above. That is the correct answer. That's right, Doritos were made as discarded tortilla chips at Disneyland. Here come the Sherman Brothers again, this time for 800 points. Right at the start of Everything That's New, one little spark lights up for you. What is Journey into Imagination?
Right at the start of Everything That's New, one little spark lights up for you.
Seen here is Hieronymus Glove, the creator of Glove World, a parody of Walt Disney World. You can spot both his frozen self and animatronic counterpart in this television series. Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? The correct answer is SpongeBob SquarePants.
I'm going to give all of Glove World to the both of you. Of course not. I may be cryogenically frozen, but I'm not a loony.
20 clues are down, but 6 remain, including Final Jeopardy. But before we get there, you, yes you, know what time it is. It is time for the most overly dramatic soundtrack infused unnecessarily. spotlighted part of the game, the 1,000 point round. 1,000 point round time begins with another non-Disney Disney song, so what say you? We check it out. A character named Sweet Tea sings Bruce Springsteen's Glory Days during a bar scene in this Pixar film. What is Cars 3? Your final clue from Pixar trailers is worth 1,000. I don't know that way. Why would they change math? Math is math. Math is math. Spoken by Bob, Mr. Incredible in the trailer for Incredibles 2.
They want us to do it this
I don't
way.
know that way. Why would they change math? Math is math.
Okay,
Math
Dad.
is math.
3 clues left on the board, and they begin with one from the 60s. This 1960 live-action film led to the creation of a walkthrough attraction at Disneyland in '62. A second version of the walkthrough was built as an opening day attraction at the Magic Kingdom 9 years later, and remains open to this day. The name of the film was Swiss Family Robinson. Of course, the Disneyland version of the Swiss Family Robinson treehouse has changed over the years. It converted to Tarzan's treehouse. Then I think it did go back, right? A few years ago to Swiss Family, and now it's just the Adventureland treehouse that I think is still inspired by Swiss Family. But either way, Magic Kingdom, we still got it. Here comes your final Sherman Brothers clue. When you're with a sweep, you're in glad company. Alright, so these lyrics may not have been written specifically for a Disney ride, but instead they were written for a Disney movie, and the word sweep might give away what movie that was. That would be Mary Poppins. So where could you have seen a scene from Mary Poppins while riding a Disney ride, and you'd hear this song? That would be the old great movie ride.
I love this song. Sing along.
And here comes the final clue on the board before Final Jeopardy. Let's make fun of Disney one last time. Mickey, Uncle Remus, Chip, Dale, and even Walt Disney himself appear in stop motion form during an episode of this show from Seth Green. What is Robot Chicken?
Oh, wow. That's great.
25 clues are down and 1 remains. It just so happens to be the one clue of the game that will ultimately determine how proud of yourself you will be for the next 7 days. Let's check out what Final Jeopardy is all about in this episode 69. School's out for summer. All right. I don't know about all of you, but here in New York City, we got out of school in late June. So I guess technically school is still not out yet, but we are entering June as you watch this episode 69. And I know the majority of the United States is done with school for the summer. So what this category is all about is different scenes and characters that have to do with school in a Disney movie or show. With that knowledge, make your wagers. And time is up. Let's check out the final clue of this episode 69. In 1949, The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad, schoolmaster Ichabod Crane finds himself teaching students in this New York town. Good luck. And time is up. So basically what this comes down to is, do you recognize the name Ichabod Crane and what story he is specifically from? Yes, he is from the feature animation film that splits time with Mr. Toad, but Ichabod's story specifically is all about the legend of Sleepy Hollow. So there's your answer. What is Sleepy Hollow? And that does it for episode 69 of Disney 100 Jeopardy, presented by MagicBandReaders.com. As a reminder, use the promo code ITM20 for 20% off your purchase from MagicBandReaders.com. Get your very own Magic Band reader and bring back to life the Magic Bands you thought were dead and pointless now. No, see? 2017, Mickey's Not So Scary Magic Band lives on by being able to turn on my Xbox. Pretty cool, so definitely check them out. If you did like what you saw from this episode, though, do me a favor, subscribe, click that bell icon. What's up, bell? This way you're notified. I tried something different. This way you're notified every time we come out with brand new content. I've been your host, Bryan Perri. I will see you next week as we enter the 70s. Disney 100 Jeopardy, featuring the category of, what was the category we just played? Don't tell me. Oh yeah, School's Out. Or so.
Bye-bye.